Hey guys, good morning. March 26th, Friday. I'm gonna start this off positively. I was up late last night, 3 a.m., solving this problem in the kitchen. We had this faucet. The kitchen was done a few months ago, and we have this high-tech Delta faucet, and we've had low pressure in this thing for a while now. But yesterday the water was off for construction in the neighborhood, and came home. My wife made spaghetti. I was gonna do the dishes, but then it was like no pressure coming out of this thing. We've had low pressure out of this thing since we installed this. We didn't know why. So I searched, I Googled, I went to YouTube, and I saw everyone says to take this out. There's a little filter in there, take that out. And then that should have like particles in it. You just brush it off with a toothbrush, and then your problem solved. I looked, this filter was clean. I searched and searched again. There was no solution. Even the Delta website just kept saying the same thing, take this filter out. So I was looking at this, and I'm like, there has to be some other thing that's clogging it. So I realized if you look closely at this, there's like a little nub there, and I was like, oh, what do you do with that? So I pushed it, I turned and turned and turned and turned. And then water was coming out of this fine. There's no pressure problems with that. But when I looked in there, I noticed there's a filter. And that filter, it's starting to clog again. I just cleaned this last night. It was clogged up with like debris, like brown debris. I knocked it out, cleaned it, put it back in, problem solved. And I was like, you know what, Olaf, why don't I just do a YouTube video on that, showing people how to fix this? Because a lot of people are searching, a lot of people aren't getting answers because that generic answer was not working for anyone. I saw millions of people, so I know it's not just me. Put up the video on my other channel, and already got like 1,000 views in it. And that's how you make money on YouTube, right? That's my positive message to you guys. You can do the cinnamon challenges and all that nonsense, review cell phones. I know a lot of people do I review cell phones and laptops, and I'm the tech guy, or I'm the car guy, or I'm the fashion guy. But everyone is doing that. Everyone's doing the same thing on YouTube to make money. My specialty and the way I get around that, I started my YouTube channel, my first YouTube channel. I remember I was working on my car, so I did a lot of car stuff. Then I was like, you know what, I was into Blackberries back then. I was like, let me review Blackberries. Blackberries are awesome phones. A lot of people weren't into Blackberries then. I think they had the Motorola Razr, and a bunch of flip phones were still a thing, and the T-Mobile Sidekick was one of the first keyboard kind of smartphones. And I was like, Blackberries are pretty awesome. And sooner or later, everyone's going to catch it. So I started my channel reviewing Blackberries. And then I came head to head with Marcus Brownlee, MKBHD. And this guy, it was like he was a kid then. He was like 13. I was in my 20s. And he was like, this iPhone thing is going to take off. And it's like right like 2010. And his channel has like millions of subscribers, millions of views. And that's all he does, review cell phones. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in that keyhole of just reviewing cell phones. I want to expand my channel and do different things. And this is something that I do. If you're looking to make money on YouTube and looking to make videos that people will watch and get people to watch them and subscribe to you, make videos that no one else is doing. No one else is doing this video on this faucet, or these faucets, right? About 20 of my friends just bought new homes or just redid their homes in this pandemic, and everyone installed one of these faucets or bought a home with one of these faucets. They don't come with instructions. And if you search or call the company to fix low pressure problems, they'll just tell you the same thing. No one's going to tell you there's a secret hidden filter in this part. My video does, and it shows you how to unclog that. People will see that and be like, wow, this guy's on to something. Hit subscribe, hit that bell notification button. And that's how I grow my subscribers, and that's how my YouTube channel took off. And that's just advice to anyone that's looking at these videos and thinking like, how do I do that? Do something else no one else is doing about. I started this specific channel because I realized a lot of black men, middle and upper class black men, didn't have a voice. I grew up as a kid in Brooklyn. The only black people we heard all the time, the only black celebrities or whatever, it wasn't politicians, it wasn't even we heard rap music all over the place. Rap music told us what to do, how to dress, what cars to buy. And yeah, some artists like Tupac and Biggie, beautiful music, but I think black men, we're a bit more than that, right? We're a bit more than a rapper, or a bit more than a politician you might see on TV. We're teachers, we're doctors, we're lawyers. And these professions, we don't speak up. We don't speak to the young people. We don't speak to other black people. And this is this void that's missing in black American Black America culture that you get in the Caribbean, where you go to my country or my wife's country or even Europe, and you see outspoken, normal Black people outspoken saying, this is how you do things, this is what needs to be done to make our community better. We don't do that in this country. I don't know why Black men don't want to do that, or Black adults. I don't want to say Black men, but Black adults. I don't know why that is. It's a cultural thing, maybe. Like I said, I wasn't born in this country. I came into this country, but I grew up in it. But I've been traveled enough to see how other places work and other places do things. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this channel, just to talk about politics. And with Trump as president in the last 4 years, I realized a lot of people died because of his politics. And people always say, don't make it political, don't make it that. Do you have to realize people die every day in this country because of politics, right? Because a decision was made somewhere else. And that's going to bring me into what I want to talk about today. Joe Biden. I was watching CNN last night. So I never watched CNN. I like CNN. I like that type of news. And as soon as it was on, I was watching it, and I saw Anderson Cooper. My wife loves Anderson Cooper. And you know, him and Trump, he hated Trump from beginning to end. But he had this piece on Joe Biden. And I was like, oh, interesting. About the pipeline. Joe Biden canceled the contracts, or he made an executive order to pretty much halt or pause, right? He didn't cancel. He paused and halted construction on that pipeline, right? That's all the executive order did. It didn't cancel. It didn't dismantle. It didn't no one was arrested. No one was fined. He just halted it. He said, stop. We need to look at this. We need to see what's what, right? A couple of years, everyone's been protesting against the pipeline. It's been very controversial. Everyone around the planet was looking at this. It was a hotbed topic at one point. I believe even back from Obama, like you had Native American people, you had local people, you had environmentalists saying like, you know, is this right? Like what's going on? Is this regulated? Is this going to be what? Trump came in, he's like, boop, let's do it. Because of that, a lot of people like in that community of the Dakotas build up a community around this pipeline being the be all end all to their livelihoods. You had tax money was supposed to go to schools being built. You had energy companies, electrical company down there. This guy, that's this guy on the chat on CNN last night. He said he's supposed to make millions of dollars a day or an hour from this work happening, because he's gonna sell energy to the utility companies. Because not the utility companies, he's gonna sell electricity was gonna be sold to, I guess, the oil company that's gonna structure the pipeline and build the infrastructure for the pipeline. You need power. You need to power it. So he's gonna make money on that, and that money's gonna go back to the community. Biden canceled that, and these people are now kind of crying that a woman built a gym in the middle of like North Dakota, in the middle of the Dakotas. Like it's just plains, and not she built a nice gym, and she had about 50 membership, and she's gonna make $3,000 a month. And everyone canceled because it's basically the construction guys building the pipelines is going to be in her gym. Now, I don't know what the reasoning is. I mean, if I'm working construction, I'm lifting pipes and metal and stuff in the daytime. I don't think I want to go home and go to the gym and lift weights. I don't know. But she was supposed to be a millionaire or make a lot of money off of this. And rightfully so, everyone has a choice to do that. But CNN, a leftist kind of news platform, sort of was attacking Biden on doing this, and not attacking Biden in a way where an executive order was done by him and it wasn't thought through. And Anderson Cooper was interviewing these people, and he seemed like, what's Biden thinking? Like, why would he do this? Like, we need to rethink this and maybe put the pipelines back in so people could like have their livelihood back. And it's literally, this only affects about not even 400 people. And they mentioned this in a news thing. It's 400 people. It's the scope of this news article. The pipeline construction is basically directly affecting the 400 people that live around where the pipe is going to be constructed. 400 people, I guess, in a negative way, the cancellation of it. I'm sure there's thousands of other people that didn't want it built in their backyard. But it's interesting to see CNN. And I know this morning MSNBC was talking about Biden. He did this press conference, or his first press conference, and everyone's attacking Biden. Is he doing enough for the border? Is he doing this? The man just dropped vaccines in y'all ahead of schedule, and they're giving Biden a hard time. And I'm not complaining about it, but you know what's funny? When Trump was in office for 4 years, right? CNN and all the MSNBCs, they gave Trump a hard time. But Fox News, Newsmax, and all those channels was like, they praised everything Trump did. Find me an article, find me a minute where someone, not a pundit or a guest, but someone that works at Fox News or Newsmax criticized anything Donald Trump did, right? From day one to the final day, they praised Donald Trump. He's the best president. He's my president. Jesus loves Trump and all that nonsense, right? But CNN and MSNBC, they're giving Biden a hard time. And that's the thing with being president. Like, that's why I know I couldn't do it. I don't have the temperament for it, and I have a short temper. But Biden seems to be holding his own. And again, he's almost 80 years old. I don't know if people expected Barack Obama Part 2 or like a younger guy. But Biden's 80 years old, almost 80. He's doing what he can. He did good on COVID. And that's the thing, too. Biden came into office. COVID was a hot mess. Thousands of people were dying a day. He fixed that. He didn't even finish fixing it. He still surpassed what he said he was going to do. And he's still fixing that problem, right? And now he's like coming out of the COVID. And he's like, all right, what else do I need to fix? And everyone's like, pipelines, border crisis. And Biden's literally like, yo, calm down. I have 4 more years. It's like the first 2 months. So, I mean, like, it's so quick to jump and criticize someone. He just sat down in the Oval Office in February. And he sat down in the Oval Office without any idea what was going on in there for the last 4 years because Trump didn't share anything with him. So for CNN to criticize, and Biden ran, he was going to cancel a pipeline. He said it from the election campaign, he was going to cancel a pipeline. It wasn't thought out. I know Barack Obama, they were thinking it out in that administration. The potential is there, right? But the problem is oil our future? No, it's not. Tesla and all the green tech companies combined made more money than all the other companies in America combined, right? And as you're talking about a handful of green tech companies, with Tesla being, I guess, the one you would look at as the money maker, right? Tesla, right? Shell, BP, they didn't make money. Tesla did. So think about where the future is headed. Think about when you look at a young person on your commute to work and have an iPhone and AirPods and they're dressed like that generation dresses, and they're thinking they're vegan. They maybe drive a Tesla or an electric car. Think about the generation that's coming up below us, right? They don't care about big oil, right? They want green energy, right? And that's where the money is. And I think that's what Biden I think that's what he wants to say, but maybe he doesn't know enough about it to say, or he doesn't want to say it yet. But that's the honest, hard fact of it, right? Right? Think about the caveman, Neanderthals, right? At some point, someone had bows and arrows, and someone invented a gun. And maybe the chief of the tribe was like, oh, we don't like this, guns. Bows and arrows. Let's make more bows and arrows. And it's like one pale guy at the end of the village who was like making guns. He's like, all right, whatever. He's making guns. And all of a sudden, maybe people are like, yo, these guns is like, you could kill more things with them. You could hunt better with guns. And the chief is like, bows and arrows. I mean, it's just like oil and electric energy, right? Do you want to invest in bows and arrows, or do you want to invest in the future? And I think that's the point of this, right? Biden could have, built a pipeline and have oil flow for 20 years, 30 years. And then what happens when the oil company is done with that land, right? Schools have been built. And that's the thing, when you invest in something like that from the company, right, that's setting up in your area or whatever, if the pipeline is there, they set up, tax money goes to schools, this infrastructure is built up, because oil is just, it's not even generating oil, it's just flowing through the land. 20 years when the flow stops, right? Shell, BP, they're not gonna be like, oh, well, what do we do now to stick around and help out? they're bouncing. They're going to the next place where oil is coming out of, right? They're not going to leave anything behind but just empty pipes, burnt land, polluted land, and they're gone. It was like they were never even there, right? And then your schools, all of a sudden, maybe you have like a lot of kids in these schools, and you need money to maintain all that, and that money just stops. Because big oil just was like, yo, we're out, we're done. We got what we needed. Peace. What happens 15 years, 20 years down the line? You know? The lady with the gym, right? Is she going to make $1 million and leave? I don't know. Are the schools just going to stop and just say, oh, we can't support this anymore. There's no income anymore. So think about that. Think about long-term investments versus like short-term investments. I'm not sure who thought it was a good idea to invest in gyms and a community to support the construction of a pipeline that's only going to flow oil for a couple of decades or whatever, you know. It's just interesting to think when Tesla's over in California making trillions of dollars, right? Apple, Uber, Netflix, streaming companies, right? All these new tech companies making trillions of dollars. Trillions, billions, trillions. Who's going to invest in oil? So, it's just weird to see them give Biden a hard time, but he's only been there 60-something days. Give him some more time. He has 4 more years, right? And Trump is lucky, and that's what I always say about some people, like evil people. Because Biden is a good guy. Trump is evil, right? It's a fact. And evil gets away with it sometimes. And Biden is just getting hell for doing. He just did good on COVID, and they're just looking to get him for something else. But that's how politics work. Next video, I want to talk about the voting suppression in Georgia. It's very disgusting, very sick. What these Republican politicians are doing to prevent black people and poor people and working people from voting. It's just very un-American. I don't think anyone supports this, right or left. I don't know what's going on down there. I don't know if they think Trump is going to get reelected because all of a sudden we're going to stop black people from voting.